Welcome to Watch Me with Watches, and today we'll be doing a review of this, the PARNIS Alpha, also known as the PARNIS Heritage. So, hope you enjoyed this video. Check out intro. So then, how are we going to fire through this? Well, I like to try and keep it au naturel, if you will, not have it too scripted. I have reviewed this watch in my mind a dozen times, and I think it's more natural if I just go through what I've found out by wearing this watch for a while, and anything I've noticed that will be of interest to you, and anything you may miss if you initially just watch a review, and there's little things you might miss unless you have had the opportunity to wear it or get a closer look. So, having had that opportunity, I want to share with you, first of all, how big is this watch? The lug to lug is 50mm, which is important because it depends on how wide your wrist is, how will the watch sit on your wrist. This sits really nicely on my 7-inch wrist because it has a nice curved, flat at the bottom, but then it curves nicely at each end, and it conforms nicely. These solid end links, they have a nice small mid link in there, so it really conforms nicely. Some watches have that part fixed so the watch sticks out further, so when it's on your wrist it looks like it's too tall for your wrist, so that's a big plus already. The case diameter is 40.5mm. Many argue that's a sweet spot in size. I would agree. It's quite thick at 13.5mm, but it's well balanced because of the all solid stainless steel bracelet with screw links. Stainless steel case. It's 172 grams with one link taken out. I only had to take one link out to get it to fit me, and I've used the I've gone in using one of the 3 micro adjusts to get it to fit really comfortably. I wore this yesterday. It was UK's hottest day yesterday. I think it was about 25 degrees where I am here down in sunny south of England, and I wore it all day and it was really comfortable. Didn't feel sweaty, didn't feel tight or too loose at any time, so it's really comfortable, which is great news. So initial negatives which I can pick out, which I would say are nothing to really worry about unless what I'm about to say really bothers you, and that is this has a lovely myoto movement, but the rotor wobble is quite loud, and it sometimes feels like it's wobbling the watch a bit, but it's a minor thing to consider when you're getting a reliable Japanese movement. It may not be refined, but they're proven to be reliable. You can't go wrong for this money, really. So that's great news. You've got a Japanese movement. Just expect some rotor wobble and a little bit of noise. Some people really like it, so you might be in luck. So as you can see here, I've taken the back off. This is the rotor spinning. It just keeps going and going. I've barely touched it with my special tweezers. Look at it spin. Spin, 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 spin. Spin, 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 spin. Second thing I noticed as I walked this from where I opened it around about here in the dining room to the through the hallway, which is quite dark, was the loom. This loom, as you can see, just from me shielding it slightly now, it pops, and it is really strong. For my experience with PARNIS watches and many Chinese watches, the loom is normally the thing they really skimp on, but this loom is very good. It's the best I've seen, apart from in a Saint Martin. Anyone who's seen Saint Martin watch reviews know they're very good. This is amazing. I really must say. I can't say that strongly enough. The loom is incredible on this. As you can see, this loom is really good. All I did was give it a quick boost with the torch I've got for about 5 seconds, and it was sitting in a dark room before that, so it hadn't been exposed to light, so it was not charged up already. Give it a quick boost with the torch, and there you see, very nice. What is also good is the bezel feel. 60 clicks, it's got a lovely feel, really smooth, and it's not gritty, it's positive action. No back play at all. Back play is when if it's not been engineered very well, it's poorly made, there's slack in the whole mechanism. This is none. As you can see, I'm trying to move it the opposite way. It just feels really well made. So that's really positive. And each click is really positive and is easy to do, even though the bezel, which is a coin edged bezel, is quite dainty, if you will, thin. It's actually really easy to get a purchase on and turn. I love the bezel inserts, lovely aluminium bezel insert. Really pops, contrasts nicely with the sort of teal or pale green dial. I like that sort of look it gives with the heritage or vintage feel, which I think they were going for with this. The crown's about 8mm in size, very easy to use, lovely smooth action, it pops out easily, screw down. Initial action is hand winding. So I was thinking hacking because it doesn't actually have hacking. That was my next complaint. Hacking, so you pull it all the way out to adjust the time. Normally on a hacking watch, you will see that stop. So you can set your time on your timepiece very accurately. This, you can't stop that second hand ticking. It's totally fine. It is an entry-level mywatchcode movement. And in some PARNIS watches, I think, unless they really specify, you might get one with the later movement from mywatchcode, which actually has hacking. The other PARNIS I'm going to review, which I'll do a quick... That's got hacking. Don't know why. That was almost half the price, but it's just what you're going to get with these Chinese watches. It's just a little bit hit and miss, but if you buy from a trusted source, such as the one I've mentioned, you can't go wrong. Nice date wheel, all lines up perfectly. All the applied indices, as I say, are absolutely loaded with lume. I'm not sure, they don't specify what lume it is, but it's very good for a PARNIS, I must say. Even though we are in daylight, you can still see it glowing now. To any of you doubters out there, that is good. And then I love the text on here. So I keep knocking the camera, I'm so clumsy. Yeah, the text, I love it. It's got that gold finish complementing with the gold in the bezel and around the minute track. The logo, which is very, very subtle. You don't really notice the PARNIS logo. So that's really positive as well. The general design and the proportions of this are spot on, and we can thank the designers at Tudor for that, mainly. But PARNIS have done their own little version of it, and they've got it right. They could have got it wrong, but they've done a good job of it. I like the crown, but one thing that bugs me is, even though it's signed, two things actually. There's a blue sticker on there when you get these watches, which is borderline torture to get off. You have to have the strongest nails known to man to pick it off, and then use anything more aggressive than a nail, you risk scratching your watch. So it's a pain in the backside, and I'm like, why do they do it? It's ironic that you put something on to protect it and you end up risk damaging the bleeding thing just to take a sticker off. So that's annoying. And that the P on this PARNIS watch doesn't sit, this is fully tightened in, and I haven't cranked it in. It doesn't sit straight like that. So I'm just see that's a little bit of a OCD thing from me, because I've got another PARNIS President, which you may check out my review on, and that is dead straight. Was that luck? Maybe. It's pretty good luck if they did do it that way. So I think to consider with these watches, this is £100, is you're getting a watch that really feels like an expensive watch, because like I said, it's 172 grams and it's quite thick. Dimensions are spot on though, and if you keep it on the bracelet, which if you've got 7 to 7.5 inch wrist or less, you'll get it to fit you quite nicely, I think. It will feel balanced and well weighted on your wrist. The bracelet is actually very well finished, and the clasp is gorgeous. It's got lovely engraving there of the PARNIS logo. Very smooth, soft action of the opening and closing. Polished milled bezel. Very, very soft open and close on that. So it's really some watches. I actually had a Pagani design watch where it had a similar clasp to this. Anyone who knows what I'm talking about will probably agree with me right now that I actually bent my fingernail back trying to open it. It was that badly made. It was so stiff. Whereas this kind of clasp they've made on this PARNIS is beautiful. It's so well made, so nicely machined. The brushing is spotless, beautiful. And this is a lovely taper from 22 lug down to, so let's check out my dimensions. Yeah, 22 down to 17.5 here. So it's a nice subtle, this bit common thing with the more vintage watches, they had a taper on their straps, and then the clasp, it jumps up a little bit to 19.5. So it's lovely. It's very classy bracelet, really well made, really quality brushing. As I said, it's easy to do. Only slight issues is you might have trouble getting it to fit you if you're a bigger guy or girl, and then there's not many micro adjusts. It doesn't have a diver's extension, or some people call it a sweaty day extension. So when you're really wearing it and it's getting hot, you can't give it pop out like you can on another watch. Like, quickly show you on this watch. This has got it. This is half the price. Yeah, look, it's got that sweaty day extension. It's not a diver's extension because I don't know anyone who can get a wetsuit that thin to only a pop. You know, it's just, yeah, you get what I'm saying. It's just weird that 57 quid Parnis I've just shown you does have it, and this gorgeous one here doesn't. But lucky for me, it doesn't really matter. Now a massive positive is this gorgeous double dome sapphire. You get that distortion. It just looks so classy, and it's got that dome, and it contrasts and blends in really smoothly with the slight scalloping of the bezel there. It just works really well. It's a beautifully designed watch. Like I've quickly covered, it's got a good heft and weight to it. It may have some rotor wobble and noise, but it's actually a reliable movement. The loom is amazing. The finishing is very good. The polishing is so smooth, and by smooth I mean some watches you get where they have polishing, you can see ripples. There's no ripples on any of the polishing. The polishing on this you get is on the side and the chamfer here, it's beveled edge, and then on the edges of the strap and side, the bracelet, and then the brushing is everywhere else. Basically the top, and then underneath. You've got etching there, engraving. It's not been laser etched. It actually looks like it's been properly machined. Because on some watches that bit can look quite cheap. But this looks well done. And it's well finished. I don't know whether to trust the 100 meters water resistance. It's not the kind of company that I'm aware of testing these too much. But I'd say it's still, I would trust it for washing your car, going for a quick dip in the sea, but don't go scuba diving in it. If you're going to go scuba diving, you probably have a much nicer watch anyway, because if you're cool enough to go scuba diving, you're going to have an insanely cool watch, I think. Not that this isn't cool, but you're probably going to have something else. So I hope that's a quick oversight, really. I mean, overview, sorry, not oversight, because I mean I would have missed everything. Yeah, overview, because I've already waffled for 11.5 minutes, and I know people don't always want to hear someone waffling on for that long, but I'm really pumped about this watch. It's really good for the money, and there's so much to talk about. I've actually quick fired through it all. I hope I've been clear enough with the weights, dimensions, the sizing, the finishing, the pros and cons, if you will, and who I bought it from. And I'm going to include in this video, I'd like to show you some nice outside shots and a few outside videos, clips, just to show you how this looks in the light, how it catches the light. And as you can see, it catches the light beautifully. Very glistening, very sparkly, very nice. Then, when the light is ever so slightly dimmer, it's still very legible, and you can even see in broad daylight the incredible loom. And I'll also show you a little clip of that movement, which I managed to open the back up with a dog's squeegee toy, believe it or not, because I didn't have the other tool, for opening these weird backs on these watches. So I can show you the movement and why it's so bleeding noisy. And yeah, I hope that's been helpful, and welcome back to you who've kindly subscribed to me and have been watching my videos, me waffling on about things. It means a great deal. I absolutely love doing this, and I'm expanding the channel. I'm hoping to make it slicker, more interesting, but keep it light and fun, and I just want to be helpful. I'm just here to help and share my opinion, and that's all it is in today. It's an opinion, and I value yours as well. So let me know what you think. Pop any comments in the comment section. But if you aren't subscribed already, please do. It'd be awesome, because my aim for this year, which has been a bit of a shocker, as we all know, would be to get this channel up to 1,000 subscribers. That would be awesome, and I'll definitely do a giveaway, which I know is a popular thing to do, but I actually think it would be a fair thing to do, because that for me will be absolutely incredible. It would be a real milestone, which I hope to achieve, and I think I know I'll get there, because I absolutely love doing this. And I've had really great comments so far, so those of you who've given me comments, thanks so much. It means a lot, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video, which won't be long because I've actually got some watches have finally come in, and I can't wait to share them with you. So in the meantime, thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed learning about this PARNIS Alpha / Heritage. So bye for now.